Hi, my name is Zach, and I'm a software engineer here at Griptape. And today I'm going to be talking about Griptape Cloud and showcasing an advanced demo making use of many of the core building blocks that Cloud provides. If you're not already familiar with Griptape Cloud, you can check out our documentation, or you can watch our previous videos going over some of those core concepts. For this video, we'll be mainly focusing on integrations, assistants, and structures. As a short recap, assistants are dynamically configurable Griptape agents hosted in the cloud. Structures are custom Python applications written using the Griptape framework and deployed to the cloud. And integrations are a resource that allows you to hook up third-party services such as Slack to your own Griptape resources. We have some other videos covering those components in more detail, so today I'm going to focus on discussing a Slackbot application powered by those components in Griptape Cloud. So here at Griptape, we prioritize operational excellence for the cloud service to ensure it's available and performant. And one of the tools that we use to do this is this handy Slackbot called GriptapeOpsBot. And this Slackbot is configured as an integration in Griptape Cloud, targeting an assistant. So here's the integration in my account, and it has this assistant assigned as the target. So if I message the Slackbot over here, something like, "What is the on-call process?" that should trigger a new assistant run in my account because the Slack integration is targeting this assistant here. And so we can see that the GriptapeOpsBot responded to me with a summary of our on-call process, which it sourced from the knowledge base. And we can see that I have this new assistant run in my account for what is the on-call process. And so if we look at this, the configuration of this assistant, it's configured with many other core cloud components to influence its behavior. And so one of those components is this knowledge base, which contains information about our team's processes and guides, including a guide for on-call engineer duties. It also has rule sets, which are mainly configured to inform the agent of its context, stating that it is a Slackbot meant to help engineers and that it has access to certain data and tools in order to accomplish its job. And arguably the most interesting configuration of this assistant is actually a structure, which is provided to the assistant as a tool. And so that is this GriptapeOpsAgent structure. And so this is a hosted structure deployed from a private GitHub repository owned by the Griptape team. So I won't show the repository in its entirety, but I am going to highlight some of the pieces of the code base so you can understand what's going on under the hood. And so if I pull up the code base here, then we can see this app.py file. This is actually the entry point for this structure. And it runs a Griptape agent with a single argument as its input. So this top level agent is what's being called run here. And this agent acts as an orchestrator and has a number of rule sets in order to guide its behavior. And along with that, it has multiple tools configured. And in this case, each tool is actually an agent of its own. So each of these agents are provided as tools to this top-level orchestrator agent using the structure run tool. And it's important to note that the structure run tools are all using a local structure run driver, which means that those agents will all execute in the same deployed environment. However, each of those agents could have also been deployed as their own independent Griptape Cloud structure. And that would be advantageous if any of those agents needed to be invoked directly or scaled independently. But in this case, it's intentional that all of the requests first go through the orchestrator agent and then the entirety of the structure scales as a whole. So the reason for calling multiple agents like this is so that each agent can act as an expert in its own field. For example, we have the DataBaseAgent down here, and this agent has a collection of SQL tools to interact with Griptape Cloud's databases, as well as rule sets, directing the agent specifically to use those tools to answer questions. Keeping agents specialized like this helps to enable them to make better use of their tools and to do so more consistently. So the orchestrator is able to then handle ambiguous input questions and direct it toward the most appropriate specialized agent. I also have a collection of custom tools here that I wrote to extend the core Griptape framework. For example, we have a Datadog tool, a GitHub tool, and a PagerDuty tool. If any of these tools sound useful, please reach out to the team and ask about integrating them with the core framework. And in addition to having an orchestrator agent and these specialized agents, when the orchestrator agent is kind of walking through these workflows, it can actually call on different specialized agents in order to fulfill information that it needs to complete the whole workflow. So for example, if I run the structure locally and then ask it for logs for a particular structure run ID, then the logs agent should respond asking for the structure ID as well. And the orchestrator agent is smart enough to then invoke the database agent to get the structure ID for that run, which is then passed back to the logs agent. And we can see that behavior in this previous run that I executed locally. So I ran the main application and asked what are the logs for structure run with this ID in the past 24 hours. And we can see the first thought of the orchestrator agent is to use the DataDog agent, so the logs agent, to find relative logs for that structure run ID. And then it runs that structure, the DataDog agent, which then comes back and says, to search for the logs of the structure run, I need both the structure ID and the structure run ID. You've only provided the run ID. Could you please provide the additional information? And so that bounces back to the orchestrator agent, which then calls upon the database agent to find the structure ID for this run ID. So that fetches the structure ID, returns, gives that information back to the orchestrator. The orchestrator then calls the logs agent again, the DataDog agent, and provides both pieces of information. And then we can also see that the DataDog agent itself is able to invoke the datetime tool, which it has in its tool belt, in order to get accurate timestamps, which it can finally use to query Datadog for filter query with those appropriate timestamps. So the orchestrator helps enable that entire workflow, calling upon the specialty agents that it has access to as tools. So let's get rid of this screen here. Back to the cloud. One of the aspects that I wanted to highlight regarding this pattern is the simplicity of setting up all of these various components. So for instance, as a user of Griptape Cloud, the only piece of this demo that I really want to focus on is the Griptape Cloud Ops Agent structure. That's the code that I was responsible for authoring and customizing the tools and deploying to Griptape Cloud. And I wanted the interaction with that Griptape Ops structure to be done via Slack so that my coworkers could easily interact with the structure and provide context in Slack threads and conversations. So with Griptape Cloud, all that I need to do is configure this integration, the GriptapeOpsBot, and provide that assistant as the target for the integration. And both of those pieces together handle all of the Slack logic and all of the thread management, which are the pieces that I don't care so much about. And I just need to grant the assistant access to my structure, the Griptape Ops assistant access to the Griptape Ops agent structure. That way the structure can help the assistant answer these more complicated questions about ops. So I don't have to manage a code repository for the assistant or for anything related to Slack or message handling. And I can continue to iterate on the structure itself to give it more capabilities and more tools. So in total, this has been a demo showcasing a real example of a powerful Slackbot integration configured entirely on Griptape Cloud. We talked about the simplicity of configuring an assistant with integrations down to the flexibility of deploying structures with customized framework tools. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're active and available in the Griptape Discord server. Thanks for watching.